Hello Facebook, welcome to day 3. Day 3 of no nicotine, day 2 of no alcohol, and day 1 of no weed. This is, day 3 of my 30-day self-improvement personal challenge. Thank you everyone for being here. Thanks for all your comments. It's been really pretty cool experience so far. Where should we begin? Well, let's start with the cap. I want to recap all the things that have been happening. So if you're just tuning into this now, I'm quitting something every day for the next 30 days and intend to keep it off and add something every day for the next 30 days and keep those habits as a way of flushing out and getting rid of things that I'm doing or things that are part of my life that I don't really identify with or aren't really getting me to where I want to be. And I can even tell you just now from on day 3, by not smoking the vaporizer and I'm not feeling the effects, but I am recognizing how all of these things stack on to your daily life. You know, I'll have a beer here or there after work, whatever. I'll be puffing the thing all day. And then I'll get home and I'll zonk myself out on weed. And you just, as I'm pulling these out one at a time, I'm recognizing how much of a soup I'm constantly putting my body and my emotions and my mind in, and how much these chemicals are working on the body, and the body's triggering the emotions are affecting my state of my mind starts going down a rabbit hole, creates anxiety in the body, and it's just this back and forth. So, you know, I'm not saying that any of these things are bad, but I am saying that I'm ungrounded to the point where I want to clear out all this stuff and see what my body and mind and my emotions and my spirit, see what comes out, what's me, what's genuinely coming out of my body in this life, in this experience. And again, it doesn't make these other things less legitimate. Like, for example, I want to talk about pot. I love smoking marijuana. I love it. I love thinking. I feel like the world is a pretty bizarre place where they really want you to be narrow-minded and in a box, and there's not a lot of imagination in day-to-day life unless it's in a very approved form. It's like no one's willing to talk about, hey, what we could do as a community, but everyone can go watch Transformers because that's an acceptable parameter for someone to imagine. You could have a very straight edge person watching Transformers and talking about, like, oh yeah, the CGI, whatever, I don't know. But for me, I find it very restricting to be in society and not be able to spout off ideas on the top of your head about what we could be doing. So for me, for my mind, I like to smoke weed and just zone out into my thoughts. But now I'm 33 years old, and people can see that I can do things. I have lots of talents. I can do lots of different things, but I don't really have a lot to show for myself, and maybe that's the world, but I want to take more personal responsibility for what I create in my life. And I recognize that indulging the mind and just living in fantasy or living in the mind is a form of mental masturbation. It feels good in the moment, but it's not what I'm here to do. I'm not here to just think. So today I'm quitting pot for the next foreseeable while, for I don't know how long, but for now I'm letting it go. And like I say, I've been using it to escape, to enjoy my mind. So it does also serve as the relief of pain, emotional pain, physical pain. It's nice at the end of the day. But it's, like I say, it's been a distraction and a bit of a pacifier. So my intention is to drop pot and instead do a little bit of meditation, and also I want to start a company. I think that daydreaming and not doing anything about it, the best way to counter that is to quit the narcotic and pick up a big goal. So for me, I want to start a company, and this links in nicely to what's been going on for me today. So I'm working a construction job, I don't like the boss. He's very old-fashioned, like yells at me and my coworker when we're not moving things fast enough. And at the end of the day, you realize, wow, I'm being yelled at. I'm an adult and I'm being yelled at by a guy who can't control his stuff. And I don't want to use this as a rant for my job, but I'm planning on quitting. And I know a lot of people get stuck in a job and they think that they have to stay there for this, that, and the other reason. And I've gone too far the other way. I've quit way too soon at times. But now at this point I'm ready to quit. I have other things lined up that I'd like to do and ambitions, and I think that as this 30-day challenge is progressing and going on, I'll actually have the fortitude to be able to get on those things. So yeah, just to recap from day one, I've started the Wim Hof breathing. I've been doing that every day. I'm planning on sending some links out through these videos as well. So Wim Hof breathing, I've been doing that for a couple of days. I've made a request to a couple people out there who are going to give me some recipes on tinctures and what their uses are, and that's going to be kind of my way of exploring the world of alcohol without actually drinking. I'm going to be making tinctures for the next couple of months, and I'm pretty excited about that. Leather working, I letting go of the tobacco, but also want to use it in a better way. Having a medicine pouch just for the tobacco, so that's something that I'm going to be making. And so it's funny, you know, like we have these clothes, like this is a work shirt from one of my jobs, and I dyed it with bleach, and so it's got a bit of me mixed into it. But most of the things that we have in this society, in this culture, are products that we've bought or someone's bought for us. But by making this medicine pouch, I'm actually going to be putting my thoughts and intentions, and I don't mean in a woo-woo way, I just mean like next time I pick it up, I'm going to think about all the things I was thinking about when I was making it and the intention that I want to have for using herbs in a good way. So that's another thing I'll be picking up. I have a drawer full of sage and sweetgrass and juniper and all these medicines that I haven't used because I've been kind of distracted and blah, blah, blah. So that's going to take a nice precedent. I'm going to bring back the smudging back into my daily practice. I don't know if I'll need it every day, but something emotional comes up, I'm going to clear it with some sage and a bit of meditation. So meditation is something I've been wanting to do for years, and I'm pretty good at it when I do it, but I don't have the discipline for doing it, so that's what's going to happen. I'm going to get on that. So the other thing that I didn't quite realize, because if you're like me, you don't write down your monthly ins and outs when it comes to finances. I have no idea. As long as I'm not, down to zero, then I don't care. I don't pay attention. So, but already since I've started quitting these things, I'm looking at how much vape juice costs, the new tank if I break a tank. So all of these vices, all these things that I'm quitting. Netflix is $10 a month. That's not a lot of cost financially, but that's a huge cost in time. So all of these things have multiple facets of cost and very little value. So money, time. If you smoke or if you swear a lot, you kind of shut down opportunities that you might have with certain people because they don't do those things. So and health. It costs you money, it costs you time, it costs you health, and it costs you opportunity to be indulging in any of these things. And I want, like I say, vaping feels good. What's the big deal? Well, those are the unseen costs. So, and what value do they bring? The tobacco brings me a bit of an upper buzz. Sometimes it gets me into a certain social scene. Alcohol gets me inebriated, lets me let go, but there are other ways that you can help yourself relax into a social setting. Weed is a nice escape, but a hike into the woods is also an escape that serves your body, serves your soul. So that's something to pay attention to. If you're thinking about, what's good or bad in your life, what do you want to, check out the cost and then check out the value, and compare the two. How much am I getting out of this, and how much is it costing me? And I think there are a lot of things in the world, like swimming cold water in the middle of the winter is free. It unless you get hypothermia, it's going to help you. It's going to revitalize your spirit. So there's lots of things that we can do that have low cost to us and high value. So that's part of what I'm doing to replace it. So I want to talk a bit about why now. In my life in the past, I've had either, a bad job or a bad relationship or a bad home situation or all of those things and other things, and maybe a trauma or something like that. So I've been very unstable. I don't know if you can see I've got a room and it's set up. Well, this is something that I've actually only had for myself in the last couple of months. I'm in a really nice, healthy living situation, and I unpacked things that I haven't had on my walls for years. I got, I don't want to show you my whole room, but there's this great picture of my family right here that I've had in storage at my sister's place for probably 10 years. That's me right there with the orange hair. Anyway, and so yeah, I've noticed not having a room to be in has really affected certain types of growth. I've been really good at showing up at a party and being the life of the party, but the opportunity to reflect on myself and figure out who I am is not something. A room helps you do that when you have a stable place to do that, and I finally do have that right now. So all these things are coming out and things are going up on the wall, and it's kind of actually feels a little immature. There's stuff that's from a long time ago. I got a stuffed Batman over there, but that's where I'm at. Part of my head is that's where I'm at right now, and as I develop myself, maybe some things will change or maybe not. But so I just wanted to say that for anyone out there who's thinking of getting themselves better, and start with a good foundation. Find yourself a scene that serves you. If your job is not serving you, quit. I'm totally quitting my job in like 2 weeks, and I'm going to use this 30-day challenge as a way to get me ready for when that last day of work comes and goes. Then I'll be full on into teaching swing dance, or I'm not exactly really sure, but I know that I have a creative side that's been stagnant, and I'm wanting to open those doors right up. So yeah, that's day three, quitting weed. I gotta show you this too, though. This is what the drawer of my bedside dresser looks like. It's just full of like weed. That's a needle, but it's actually just full of THC. Don't worry about that. It's not what you think. It's not a needle. Anyway, but I'm gonna clear that out. I'm going to figure out what else to put in there. I have no idea what goes beside a bedside thing besides drugs. But anyway, that's day 33 for me. I'm going to quit my job in the end of the week. I'm going to make tinctures. I'm starting to smudge. I've been doing the breathing. I'm seeing the cost of all these things, and my head's already getting more clear. I just had a really nice clearing session with Sherilyn. Could talk more about that or link, but basically just a nice little process of letting things go, things that aren't serving me internally, thoughts and beliefs, and I'm feeling really clear and really focused. So thanks very much for listening to these long rants. I'm gonna try and keep them shorter than this one, but I had a lot to say today. So thanks for watching, and yeah, I'll see you on day 4. Day 4 tomorrow is day 4. It's coffee. Day 4 is coffee, and that will be the first 4 days were about body, tobacco, alcohol, pot, and coffee. Really hard things on the body, and then we're going to be going into more mental things like Netflix and Facebook, and we'll talk about that when we get there. So anyway, thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate all the comments that you've been posting. They're really helpful and really inspiring. And I hope you guys are getting something out of this too. So thanks very much. Hi, Brooke. I see you on the other side of the planet. Isn't that amazing? So much love. Thanks very much. All right, let's get out of here. Everyone has stuff to do. Good night.